go on that program. Very simple. The Lord said, don't. I obey.
So we went to him. When the preacher's life continues with the preacher's life.
As we said in our first report in 2002, the Hinn ministry relies on the cash that comes in at Pastor Benny's crusades. And since then, according to the documents we obtained and ministry insiders, there is also a great deal of cash going out. According to these receipts in 2003, much of it apparently went to Benny Hinn and his family members. This petty cash chit, $1,300 to Hinn's daughter Jessica, no reason given. And this one, $2,550 to her fiancé for watching Joshua, Pastor Benny's son. Steve, Benny Hinn's security man, says he witnessed cash going to Hinn's family on a regular basis.
That's a real common practice. Gasoline, maybe some spending money for one of the children.
So this is the ministry effectively paying money for totally unrelated activities by his kids.
And him, and his wife, the family in whole.
Sure enough, according to the expense documents, in just over a month in 2003, more than $23,000 of ministry cash was dispensed to Pastor Benny and his wife, who's also a ministry employee. And we found this record showing $25,000 in cash dispersed to accompany Pastor Benny and for a crusade in Anaheim, California, just 30 miles from his house. Forensic accountant Keith Balla.
Well, the big question is, why would he need that kind of cash? If you're a salaried employee, the company pays all the invoices directly that they receive for all business-related expenses. What do you need cash for? Most people don't carry that kind of cash in their pocket.
In its email, the ministry told us that Hinn's daughter and now son-in-law are both currently ministry employees. It also says it's common practice for ministers, musicians, politicians, and dignitaries to travel with cash, especially overseas, and that every dollar is accounted for.
If this were Enron or a similar corporation, would this not be a big deal to the IRS?
Not only to the IRS would it be a big deal, it would be a public outcry on the shareholders.
Ole Anthony.
It's not just Pastor Benny, it's all of these big ministries. They start believing that they are special, and all of that ministry money is their piggy bank.
Through his lawyers and spokesmen, we were told Benny Hinn would only speak to Dateline in an unedited format, or if the ministry had editorial control over the interview. This is how Pastor Benny explained it to his followers when he declined to speak to us for our first report.
You may have a question, by the way, on why I did not go on that program. Very simple. The Lord said, don't. I obey.
We wanted to ask Pastor Benny about his ministry's finances and about all those miracle healings, especially William's, the little boy from Las Vegas with the incurable eye condition.
Hello, how are you, Pastor Benny? It's nice to meet you.
Last August, he also declined to be interviewed for a story I was working on for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So we approached Pastor Benny after a crusade in Toronto, and we recorded the encounter with a hidden camera.
Why will you not audit and publicly release your finances? And why will you not, if you indeed you do, as you say, verify miracles, why will you not release that medical information?
Well, I'll gladly sit with you and talk to you about it.
Well, we've talked about this before, and you have not gladly sat.
I asked Pastor Hinn about William.
Do you remember the little boy named William in Las Vegas? Was that a verifiable miracle?
We do it with a pure heart, I can assure you.
Then Pastor Benny explained that he relies on his staffers to tell him about the people that appear on his stage.
Let's watch this. When he comes up on a platform, I'm only able to know what happens because they tell me so.
But isn't that the point, that they don't know, and neither do you?
They're checked as much as possible in the line. Let's talk on camera.
He wasn't happy when I told him we were already recording our conversation.
We've been on camera. You should know that.
But the thing is, I think it's more proper if I can sit with you in a studio, have the questions, answer them honestly, and then let's... But I think to come, at midnight or whatever time it is right now, really is thinking.
Sir, I've been asking you for an interview for 3 years.
Well, I did not...
And I'm still waiting.
Thank you. I'll call you.
Pastor Benny didn't call. As for TV producer Nathan Daniel, who says he asked too many questions, The ministry told us he's a disgruntled employee and was fired for cause. And what about this Hinn security man? He still does work for the ministry and says he remains disenchanted.
And when you see the people that I've seen giving their last dollars so that their sick child or that their sick father or mother or daughter can get healed by Benny, that's absolutely wrong.
Forensic accountant Keith Bala thinks Hinn's followers should speak out.
People should be up in arms and ask for an accounting, an audit, internal controls.
But what about the Internal Revenue Service? Doesn't the government demand an accounting? The IRS does not require a church to make its finances public or to pay any taxes. But Christian theologian Michael Horton says it's not just about following the regulations, but about the ministry's message.
Their message is a message of greed. It is a message of selfishness. In very obvious, ribald, clear, crass terms. And they are living accordingly.
And what would Christian watchdog Ole Anthony like to say to Pastor Benny?
Your ministry is based on lies. And it's time to begin telling the truth, because you're going to have to meet your Maker soon.
In the meantime, Benny Hinn and his ministry keep thriving. His TV show is seen 5 days a week on hundreds of stations. His worldwide crusades continue, and the money keeps rolling in. And through it all, Pastor Benny maintains that he has truth and God on his side.
And look at these eyes. I have never lied to you. Never. I never will. I'd rather die than lie to God's people.
We should point out that many other well-known evangelical organizations do voluntarily publish at least some of their financial information, even though that is not required by the IRS. To learn more about that or any of the organizations in our story, and to find out how some of your favorite charities are spending your donation dollars, visit our website. The address is dateline.msnbc.com. That's all for this edition of Dateline Sunday. We'll see you again for Dateline Friday at 8, 7 Central. I'm Stone Phillipson for all of us at NBC News. Good night.